You ready to do this, Matt?
Yes, sir. Punch it, Rudolph.
Welcome, super friends, to the Fortress of Nerditude podcast, a safe place to talk about all things in nerd and pop culture. I'm Spencer Stapleton, and my co-pilot is Matt Shaw. We're two nerds that just refuse to grow up. Thank you for joining us. This is episode 160. We release every Thursday morning. You can find us on the website, fortofnerd.com. We have links to iTunes, Google Music, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and everywhere podcasts are available. Stop by and relax a while. If you like what you're hearing, hit that subscribe button and get us automatically each and every week in your ear holes. Matt Shaw, Merry freaking Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas to you. Yay!
Merry Christmas. Now, obviously, we're recording this not on Christmas Day. We're like 9 days away from Christmas, but this will be our last episode before Christmas.
Yes.
So, I just want to wish you, your family, your extended family, and all the wonderful super friends here at the Fortress of Nerditude a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you. I speak for the Fortress. We thank you.
Ah, how's that?
And I thank the Fortress and say Merry Christmas to everyone as well.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. All right, so Matt, what has been going on with your week?
Well, Christmas, though it's still 10 days away for us as we're recording, is kind of in full swing. We have family in town already. My little sister, who's in college, she came back on Thursday, and she's staying with us because there's not a lot of room at my parents' house, so she's actually staying with us.
Mama Shaw doesn't have room for her daughter?
Not enough.
Wow.
Not enough.
Wow.
So, yeah, my little sister's staying with us, which is fun. We have a really good time together, and so it's been a lot of fun. And then 2 days ago, my sister, her husband, and their 3 kids from England came in. So it's been busy. I haven't seen them in, I don't know, 20 months, it feels like, right around there. So it's been a long time since I've seen my sister. And so it's been fun to see them. They're super jet lagged. Those kids are like dead.
Really?
So I haven't had any time to like hang out with them because they're dead at night. They're going to bed at like 5.
Wow.
And we don't get over there until like 5. So
right.
Good night, guys. Have fun. And Emmy's like, I want to play with my cousins. Like, well, sorry, I have to wait. So she's got.
How long are they here for though?
They're here for like 3 weeks.
Okay, so they'll probably eventually.
Yeah, they'll adjust. Well, I think half of them are here for 3 weeks, and then like my brother-in-law is taking 1 or 2 of the kids back in like 2 weeks. So 2 weeks minimum for them. So they'll be here a little while. And my other sister came in tonight, like a couple of hours ago. So everyone that's going to be here is here.
Nice.
So it's been fun and crazy, and not a whole lot of specific stuff, just kind of preparing and cleaning. And Jessie's made some Christmas cookies. She made some Spritz, which is a Gifford family classic. And I wasn't too keen on them. I wasn't a big almond flavor fan, but they're actually kind of good now.
So I'm gonna give you a hot take.
To the pressure.
I think they're an okay cookie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get the hype in our family about them though.
It's tradition. That's why it's hyped up.
I know.
It makes it feel like Christmas to them.
We were talking about the whole like how many things, because we're trying to do better, and we got our Hawaii trip, so we'd like to lose some weight before then. Yeah. And so we're talking about like keeping Christmas, and we're like trying to keep it down to like a few treats.
Yeah.
And like we'd labeled kind of like a few things off, and the priest's like, "Oh, we have to do Spritz." I'm like, "Do we? Do we though?"
Right.
Like,
if you're gonna eat the calories, make them good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying they're a good cookie. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
but there's just better options, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And I think my wife would probably agree, but it's definitely tradition. And
yeah, it's what you grew up with. I get that.
Yeah, Emmy helped decorate. It was a lot of fun, and they were a hit. So everybody's enjoyed them so far. They're fun. And then just kind of watching the Christmas movies, continuing to try to get through the Star Wars movies. So last week I'd watched the prequels. This week I watched Han Solo, Rogue One, and almost all of A New Hope. I think I've got maybe 30 minutes left in A New Hope. So paying as much attention as I can. Usually I'm working while I'm doing it. I just don't have the time to sit down and watch them all. And I don't know that I'll be able to, because I gotta start the sequels, because those are probably the most important leading up to this one. So
yeah,
I have to watch The Force Awakens tomorrow on Tuesday, and then The Last Jedi on Wednesday, and Rise of Skywalker we're seeing it on Thursday. So it's I don't see how I'm going to watch Empire and Return by tomorrow night. I just don't see it. But anyway, I've seen those movies a million times, so I know exactly what happens almost word for word. So not too concerned about that. It's been a while since I've seen The Force Awakens, and it's been a while since I've watched The Last Jedi too, so it'll be fun to go through those again. Anyway, so that's pretty much what it was, though. Not a whole lot of other stuff happened.
I gotcha. I decided to do something even though I didn't think I was going to. I decided to marathon all the Star Wars movies.
Oh, baby.
Now, you started the prequels like a week ago.
Mm.
I started the prequels like 2 days ago. And I'll let you know that we have watched all 3 prequels, Rogue One, and A New Hope.
Oh my gosh. You're like tied with me. How did that happen?
Yeah, I'm probably going to watch a little bit of Empire tonight, because I'm trying to like any opportunity we can to like fit in like half hour, 45 minutes, jam it in. Where it's like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
We were doing a project the other night after the kids went to bed. I think we were doing some like wrapping of gifts and whatnot. Star Wars was on, and it was A New Hope, and it's like, yep, I've seen this a whole bunch of times, and I know what's going on. I was quoting it. Like I actually was doing stuff for the podcast and watching the movie at the same time. And I'm literally just like not even looking up, and I'm just quoting along, you know, and I was like, okay. But here's the thing. At certain times, I definitely was paying strong attention, because I have a copy of the original trilogy on digital that I took from like maybe the 2003, 2004, I want to say DVD releases after Revenge of the Sith came out. They released all of the DVDs, and they released them as a double disc. One of the features on the double disc was the original film on DVD, completely unedited.
Yeah.
No specialized versions from like 1997. So I have those. I even have them loaded up so we can watch them. However, we were watching the prequels on Disney Plus, so I was like, let's just watch this on Disney Plus. So I have to say, McClunky. Oh, wow. I'm like, I forgot this. And when I was watching like the scene where Han Solo meets Jabba in Mos Eisley early on, and it's like, here's the thing. I know that this scene was originally an actor. I've seen that outtake, so I know that it was originally an actor in kind of like a big, like furry kind of coat. And so like he walks around him, behind him. But when they do the edited version and they digitally impose Jabba, which Jabba looks horrible.
He looks so bad.
They have to make it look like he's stepping on his tail to step up and over.
Yeah.
But they can't really change Harrison Ford, so they just like literally like shift him up and over, and like he gets all like fuzzy and like washed out in the face to try to make that move like look right. It's so bad. The CGI is so freaking bad. And then there's other scenes where like you see extra dewbacks, and there's more Mos Eisley that you've never seen before, and some of it I kind of go, yeah, it's just unnecessary. All the extra TIE fighters and Y-Wings going towards the Death Star for the battle there at the end. Like, I get it. It makes it look like there was more than 4 that were attacking.
Yeah.
that's okay. But like oh gosh, that Jabba stuff. And the fact that they put Boba Fett into A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
So all I can say is McClunky.
McClunky.
Because it is McClunky, and freaking that scene was McClunky. And Brita, she looked at it, she's like, why do they keep messing with this? Why? And I was like, George freaking Lucas. That's all I can say. George freaking Lucas.
Yeah, it's a mess.
But that's why I'm glad I still have my originals, and I've got them on digital. Yeah. And I have 2 different VHS copies that I have not put in a VCR in decades, and I'm holding on to those. One is the one that I spent all summer on a paper route, and I earned, and I bought, and it's the one that's like the little trifold, where it's got the box that slides over the top, you slide that off, and then it's got like these little wings that kind of unfold.
Oh, yeah.
And all 3 movies in the middle. And then I got the one in the maybe mid to late 90s, before the special editions, where they put it in anthropomorphic widescreen. So
I was trying to, as you were talking, I was trying to envision what the version that I had. I'm looking it up right now. The VHS version.
You know, the funny thing is, I remember exactly how much the VHS version cost me. It cost me $80. And I remember I went and got it from like a Suncoast Video in the mall. saved up all year. I wanted that so bad because I wanted my own copy.
Right.
I didn't want the ones my parents had. I wanted my own.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all the original VHS box art too. So I can look over it and I can see it right there. It is a prized possession of mine. And yeah. One day maybe I'll give it a play just to, for whatever. But
yes.
I also would like to get, now this is going to sound really nerdy, but I actually would like to get it on Laserdisc, because Laserdisc was a much cleaned up version. Matter of fact, the Laserdisc versions where a lot of the high def versions originally came from. They took it from the Laserdisc version.
Yeah. But
I would love to get it on Laserdisc.
Yep.
Just as like one other way. Just because.
Yep.
Just because. Anyway, so I did that. I made homemade caramels.
Oh, cool.
So cool. We've done that the last couple of years. And tonight, the boys and Brita and I cut them all up. I made them the other night and then let them cool, cut them up, and then we all wrapped them in wax paper. So we're going to be giving those out as some Christmas gifts to friends and neighbors and such. We did that. Charlie turned 7, and we had his birthday party. And we were at a roller skating rink, and it was exactly like I thought it would be, but not as bad. Like, it was exactly like I anticipated, but it didn't have that, like, I don't know, nasty 1980s feel to it. It felt pretty modern.
Yeah.
It was a good party. The kids really had a great time. And surprisingly enough, it was very affordable. So I was pretty happy. Charlie turned 7. My little boy's getting bigger.
Crazy.
I mean, just nuts. But he had a good time. Got a bunch of stuff that he was happy with.
Awesome.
I didn't play any video games this week. I just had no time. Super busy. And I anticipate that's going to be pretty much the case this week because I'm seeing Rise of Skywalker on Friday, and I got to get the rest of this dang Star Wars movies done. So anyway, that's kind of my week in a nutshell. I mean, lots of other stuff happened, but I'd say the highlights of what's going on over here in the Casa de Stapleton.
Yes. Yes, yes.
So, Matt, it's Christmas time. We can't let the Bothans off the hook because it's Christmas. But is there any sort of festive way you would like to dispatch of the Bothans this week?
Gosh. I always go back to poisoning just to be a little more humane, but
we know how that happened.
Have you ever seen the movie Krampus? Of course you haven't because you don't like horror movies.
Don't like horror
movies.
But
it's very campy. It's very funny. It's got Adam Scott in it, so it can't be too serious. Long story short, they're gingerbread men and they are killer. So the way that they die is get blasted by a shotgun. So let's blast them with shotguns.
I always have to let you know, many Bothans died to bring us this information.
Rest in peace, you Bothans.
All right, Matt, our gingerbread assassins have done the deed and have dispatched all of the Bothans this week. There are literally Bothan pieces everywhere, along with a few gingerbread pieces. Gingerbread men lost a couple, too. What do you have for me this week?
Okay, so the first thing this week, let's start with Marvel.
Okay.
And there's plans for Phase 4.
Yeah.
We are moving forward with that. I believe the first of which is going to be this Black Widow movie. I'm trying to remember all of kind of the release schedule here, but we know we're getting like Thor 3. Yeah, 3.
4.
4. It's the fourth one, yeah.
Thor 4.
Thor 4. That's a mouthful.
Thor 4.
We are getting Guardians. There's been a lot of hoopla around Guardians 3. James Gunn, you're fired. James Gunn, you're hired. Hopefully no more James Gunn, you're fired again. However, we got a little bit of just a little something. Just to tease
little
us.
Something.
Just a little from Karen Gillan, who plays Nebula.
Yep.
Or
Amy Pond.
She says, I don't know when it will shoot exactly, meaning the next Guardians. I think in the next couple of years, but I've read Volume 3 script, and I think it is the best of the trilogy. I know we're all really excited to have James Gunn back as our fearless leader, so we are all just really looking forward to getting back together. So, nothing earth-shattering. Interesting, though, that here's the deal. Guardians of the Galaxy, for me, is my favorite of the series. If I had to pick a trilogy or duology of any of the Marvel films that have come out yet, if you have more than one film, my favorite is Guardians. I loved them both.
Over Spider-Man?
Oh, man, why you gotta do that to me? I forgot
I'm just saying.
Disney outright owned Marvel films, okay?
They're MCU. Come on
Sony
now. Don't split hairs like that.
Sony not involved. I have to say that because okay. Anyway, I love them. And I think the scripts have been really, really solid for those movies. Really funny, really effective emotionally too at points. So, I mean, to say it's the best one, that's high praise. I hope that's true. I hope it's not just lip service at this point, but I'm excited for Guardians 3. I think,
love those movies.
Yeah, there are some really good... When I think about the next phase or two of Marvel, some of my favorites are continuing. Like Thor Ragnarok was like, wow, a top tier for me. So good. So I'm excited to see what they do with Thor 4. Because for me, Thor was kind of dead before that. Thor 2 Dark World, I did not like it.
No.
And then for me, it kind of got saved. So it'll be interesting to see. And like Black Panther, I really loved. We're getting another one. So anyway, I just think it's really interesting. I'm excited to see what they do with these superheroes. But Guardians 3, it'll be interesting what the cast is. Obviously, I'm just curious to see if we're going to get Thor now as part of the Guardians. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool news.
I mean, I obviously think we're going to get Adam Warlock in Guardians 3. And I do know why they named the next Thor movie Love and Thunder versus Thor 4, because Thor 4 doesn't exactly sound great, although I think it's kind of funny alliteration.
Yeah.
Thor 4. I always like it when I hear actors say that they really love the script or they're really excited for it.
Yeah.
Because it makes me more excited. It makes me say, yes, if the people that are involved, the people that are doing the shooting love it, then I know that there's a better chance that I'm going to enjoy it because you're going to see their love for the project come out in the project.
Yep.
Whereas on a divisive note, when you have actors that bag the movie they just acted in as it's being released or just came out, and you see that done, then you're always like, for me, I'm like, because if they don't like it, then I'm always a little more cautious. Looking at you, John Boyega and Mark Hamill, talking The Last Jedi. I mean,
and it's same with the Snyder Cut things.
Yes,
for me,
yes,
it's
exactly
the same
thing.
I'm like, guys, I get that you're passionate about it, and you should be passionate about it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But sometimes I think it's just fuel to the fire, and I'm exhausted with the fire sometimes.
Yeah.
But you're right. It is fun to see people excited about it instead of not excited about it. I'm sick of the not excited. I'm happy to see the excited.
Right.
When James Gunn came back, everyone was excited. And that made me feel good. Because I agree with the decision to hire him back. I didn't agree with him. I didn't agree with firing in the first place. Thought that was a little silly.
Nope.
But that's not what we're here to talk about.
Nope. But I agree with you. I wasn't on board with that, and I totally was on board with bringing him back.
Yep.
Oh, talking about bringing things back, or maybe not bringing things back.
Oh.
We have a lot of Star Wars Rebel Intelligence this week. Do. Because obviously Rise of Skywalker's coming out, and this actually will be the last podcast we record before we see Rise of Skywalker. But because of that, there's lots of news. There's lots of things. Matt, I'm just going to say real quick, I'm doing my best to stay away from everything. I have not watched the last trailer that dropped. I'm not looking at anything now. I'm not reading any interviews because anything that has anything to do with Rise of Skywalker, I'm super afraid of spoilers.
Right.
But I did read an article that Kathleen Kennedy was in, and she basically was asked, kind of the future of kind of like some of the Star Wars franchise and like where it's going to go and what's going to happen. And she basically said that after, we all know that Solo did not live up to Disney's box office expectations. Mm-hmm. It actually made okay money. If this was any other movie, it would have made a sequel. It would have been making big money and it would have had a sequel. But it didn't make Star Wars money. Right? It didn't make all the credits that the galaxy was hoping for. So, because of that, they decided let's slow things down after Rise of Skywalker. Kathleen Kennedy actually has taken a step further, and she says that basically they're going to focus going forward on telling great stories, and they're going to stop or try to get away from doing trilogies, because when you do a trilogy, it basically kind of pins you into kind of a 3-act kind of play, right? Yeah. So you're going to have an establishing act, you're going to have a middle act that's going to, develop characters, have some sort of a plot twist, and then a final act where you're going to have to resolve everything. And I think also that part of the reason she's probably saying this is because let's look at the sequel trilogy. You had J.J. Abrams, who did the first of those. Mm-hmm. Then you brought in a different director, Rian Johnson. Then you were supposed to finish it with a completely different director with Colin Trevorrow. Mm-hmm. And then he left, fired, however, that really transpired. And then they brought back J.J. And we have talked, there's a lot of speculation that they're bringing back J.J. to try to tie up what he started in Force Awakens, and then how The Last Jedi seemed to kind of take its own path, we'll say, and try to find a way to kind of maybe marry the two, retcon it a little bit, kind of put it back together. And Kathleen Kennedy's saying they're going to get away from the trilogies, they're just going to be able to tell different stories in a more unique and creative way. I also wonder if it's a little more business sense that's kind of going into that also, because if they want to have different directors, different people do things, if they only do a single movie, or maybe a movie and then a sequel, and not do a trilogy and not be tied into this, they can use different directors, and they don't have to feel now we've kind of screwed up the continuity because we went with this guy, and then the next one we went with this person, and then the last one we did this. Now we do know that Rian Johnson is supposed to be working on something in the Star Wars universe, and now that Kevin Feige is going to be getting involved in the universe, which, to me, you bring in Kevin Feige because he did such a good job in the MCU with tying these overarching stories over multiple movies. And so, I don't know. I mean, what do you think when you hear Kathleen Kennedy say no more trilogies?
So, to me, they don't want to be painted into a corner like they were with this trilogy. I think the sequel trilogy has problems.
Yep.
And I think the problem started with what JJ did being far too vague, and then with Ryan going in a completely different direction.
And being way too
and
specific.
We're seeing, we saw two extremes. We saw this is too similar to A New Hope, and I don't like it because we didn't get this, and this. And then we see this other one, which is, this is way too different. You change this and this and this. And I'm sure Disney just throws their hands up in the air and goes, I don't know what you guys want. But to me, I'm okay with this. I was a little taken aback when I read this. I think it came out today. At least that's when I read the article, was today.
I think maybe yesterday, but
it was recent. And to me, the article, it almost said like, we're not doing a trilogy, but that doesn't mean we're not going to tell a continuous story over multiple movies, right? We're just not going to say it's a trilogy. It might be 3. It might be 7. It might be 1. We're going to do whatever feels right with a given idea, which I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the idea that there's nothing finite. And I think in this article, I'm trying to remember which, I hope I'm not stepping on any toes of what we're going to talk about at a different time, but from what I remember, she also mentioned this probably is not the last we're going to see of every character from this trilogy. This trilogy.
She did say that.
She kind of peppered that in. Not saying it's going to be, Finn, Poe, and Rey.
Right.
But we could see other characters.
We're going to get Rose.
Continue. Oh, gosh. Of all the characters.
Just messing.
I know. That triggers me so
We're going to get a whole series following Rose.
Oh, man. Anyway, but I thought that was interesting that they keep going back and forth on if we're going to see more of these characters or not. First it was, yes, this is going to continue. And then it's like, no, this is the end. There's no more.
And now it's maybe.
She's like, well, we might see them again. My gosh, make your freaking mind up. Like, they're torturing all of us that are passionate about Star Wars.
I like the idea of bringing back characters I think that fans want to see, but doing it in a way that's maybe a little unexpected. So, for instance, you remember the very, very end of Revenge of the Sith, how Yoda sits down with Obi-Wan and he says, you're going to go to Tatooine. He's like, and I've got some work for you. He's like, I'm going to show you,
somebody has come back.
Someone who's come back and found the way to come back of immortality. And this, and he's like, Qui-Gon. He's like, teach you how to commune with him. I will.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, sweet. Because obviously Obi-Wan, Ben does that and comes back for Luke. Right.
Yep.
And so like, I went, ooh, and I just saw that and I'm like, and I know there's a Obi-Wan series coming up and it's going to have Ewan McGregor in it. So it's like, maybe we see some Liam Neeson come back. Maybe we see some of that stuff. A little hint was dropped in Revenge of the Sith, but it still can be this other thing and we can explore upon a character that would be loved by the fans, but do it in a way that it can be its own stories. Kind of like they did with like Rogue One. It was like, here's a story and here's some characters you're going to recognize. Kind of like, we get a little bit of Vader. We get, we get Leia, Palpatine. We get Leia. We get Mon Mothma. We get Bail Organa. Like, we get some of these characters, but like, we're actually focused on a completely different character, Jyn Erso, pretty much the entire length, and Cassian Andor and all that.
Yep.
And it was a great movie and they did it well. So like, I kind of hope that we do still see some of these characters that we've gotten in the sequel trilogy, but I'm kind of okay if they maybe show up in a different way. Like maybe we get like some sort of animated show about BB-8.
Right.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Like, anyway,
there's stories to be told. And that's why I hate Kathleen for talking about, I don't know, there's no stories. We have no idea what we're doing. Basically.
I know.
I'm like, look, what are you talking about? I would watch a Disney Plus series of Finn's stormtrooper training. Like, what's that like?
You literally have us sitting on the edge of our seats to watch The Mandalorian week after week.
Yeah.
And like, that story isn't actually just like, it's not like we've got to do all these things and like run full speed ahead like the movies do. It's developing very slowly and very methodically, and people are still watching it every single week and still talking about it. We talk about it every week. So, I mean, come on. There's stories.
Yep. There's stories. So it'll be interesting to see what they do moving forward. But yeah, they just don't want to be tied in. And I'm fine with that. Whatever. Give different directors different movies. That's cool with me. Just don't I'm tired of Kathleen promising me something and not delivering me that and changing her promise up too much. It's just like, don't say it until you know it's true.
Yeah.
That's what I hate.
You.
She's done a lot of that, I feel like.
She moves the goalposts on
It's like, come on, like, what's going on? Are we getting a trilogy from the Game of Thrones guy? No, we're going to rip that out from under you. Are we getting something from Rian Johnson? You haven't talked about it in like 100 years, so I don't know. I can't trust her on anything.
Listen, as long as they come in with a Knights of the Old Republic movie or two movies based on that game and that story, it doesn't need to be a trilogy, but come on.
Yep. There's so many stories to be told. If they're smart, we're talking far too much about this. If they're smart, they come back, in my opinion, and they want to bring everybody back into the movie version of Star Wars, assuming Rise of Skywalker is okay. Not bad, not amazing, but let's just assume it's okay. They should, again, when they reintroduce a story, have it tie into the original trilogy, and I think you'll get everyone back. Rogue One was so good.
Yep.
Because it told, like you said, an original story based on the first part of the crawl from A New Hope.
The whole crawl.
Yeah, basically the whole crawl.
Yeah.
There are stories to be told that happen concurrent with A New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi. That would be really, really fun and interesting to see.
Yep.
That's what I would be interested to see, or even bring in Dave Filoni and have him do a movie about the Clone Wars. We've got a TV series, but make it into a movie. Make it so we see that time period, but not with crappy George Lucas CGI with his head stuck in a computer and 100 million green screens.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so the other thing I'm going to say on this too is like the reason why I keep I'm going to go back and harp on Knights of the Old Republic. So after rewatching the prequels and now getting into the original trilogy, I really see that, like, you know, really kind of get the whole idea of like Darth Sidious, and then, you know, he had Darth Maul, and then he had Count Dooku, and then eventually, you know, Anakin, Darth Vader. That you really see that, you know, when he learned, you know, his abilities from Darth Plagueis, you know, and Darth Tyrannus before him, like, there's this whole idea of the Sith were literally trying to destabilize the entire galaxy so that eventually they could overthrow the Jedi, make the Jedi be basically the bad guys of the Republic, so they could wipe them out, get rid of them, continue to amass power so that they could bring peace to the galaxy through basically a dictatorship and through, like, you know, the Sith ruling. And you see all of this and the whole rule of two and everything. Yeah. Now, plus, I mean, there's some other stuff if you get into like the like a little bit of the what's considered legends now, like that basically the whole midichlorian thing, and that Anakin was basically, you know, a result of the Sith Lords trying to mess with, like, you know, preserving life and creating life for midichlorians, and that's how they ended up getting the Chosen One. And Anyway, but if you go back and you tell a story of the Knights of the Old Republic when it's just like, you know, like 4,000 years prior to these movies, and you see like the rich detail of the Sith and where they came from on Korriban and all kind of this stuff that, like, you can see how the Sith are going to operate millennia down the road because of things that happened and were established there, and how the Jedi got established, and how these two forces really did battle it out for millennia across the galaxy, and that we're just continuing to see that actually play out during the Star Wars movies. Like, we kind of get focused in on, you know, the Empire versus the Rebellion, but really, it really was the Sith trying to overthrow the Jedi and rule the galaxy, and we're looking for balance, and we're trying to balance all that out in the end. Yeah. And there's a bigger, grander picture. I think telling an older story that could, like, segue into that, so, like, that would make more sense, I think would really help. A, the existing Star Wars movies we have, but B, just do something new. Yep. So I agree, we've gone on way too long. I've been, like, reading and watching stuff all weekend, so we could go on. I may cut one of mine here just to shorten up time, because we went, like, way too long.
All right, I've got a cute one.
Okay.
We've got some Baby Yoda merch. We've had it in the form of t-shirts that everybody hated. The designs were really crappy. They were like trying to push merchandise out before the holidays, and it hasn't turned out great. And then I think we had like the Funko Pop figurine come out, and it's fine, like whatever. We all know what we all really want, and it's like a plush toy. Like, where's like the little Baby Yoda cute merchandise we can all get for our kids and for ourselves? And Hasbro has answered that question, and we're getting a couple of different... Yes, sort of is correct. So there's a couple of different Baby Yoda things coming our way. One of them is a talking plush for $25, a 6.5-inch figure for $20, a quote bounty collection, which includes 6 different versions for $8 each, and the Black Series, which we all know. Here's the catch, y'all. May 2020.
I know.
Tell me why.
Right.
What the heck? You can pre-order
I'll
this
tell
stuff.
You why.
There's pre-order that stuff pretty much anywhere you want. And I'm not going to lie, I pre-ordered it.
I'll tell you why, Matt. It's really simple. They did not anticipate that Baby Yoda was going to catch on the way it has, and that it was going to be so well loved. And so they're like, oh, we got... I mean, okay, you weren't around then. But when the original Star Wars came out, and they came out with figures, they didn't have all the figures actually created at the time. So what they did was they sold you the little cardboard base, and you paid for it ahead of time. And then as they made the next figures of the original 12, they mailed them to you.
Wow.
And so you ended up getting them over time because they couldn't have them all. They couldn't have all 12 figures ready when the movie came out. And they didn't anticipate. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Star Wars, when it was first created, the studios thought it was probably going to be a flop.
Right.
They're like, who's going to want this? It's not going to be a big deal. And then, of course, like, it caught like wildfire in the summer of 77, and it raced through the box office. And they're like, oh crap, we need to get merchandise out there, but we don't have time for Christmas to get all the toys, so let's sell a little piece of cardboard and a single figure, and then we'll get more figures and kind of supplement as we go along. That's why we're getting Baby Yoda in May and not in time for Christmas.
Yep, I think you're right, but I think they're stupid for not seeing that. Baby Yoda is the cutest, most perfect thing in the entire world. How do you not understand that that's going to be... I don't think they... I agree with you, but I think that they knew that people who watched it would love Baby Yoda. I don't know that they anticipated that many people would be watching Disney Plus this early on.
Yes, that's true.
I think that it blew their expectations, which is great. Anyway,
that's my news. Like it.
It's cute.
I haven't pre-ordered any Baby Yoda merch, only because the problem is that plush, the head is solid plastic. The body's plush.
Right.
But that head is solid plastic, so I'm like, are my kids really going to play with that, or am I really going to play with that, or would it just be used as a weapon by my boys? Look, I can squeeze this, and then I can throw it, and that thing's going to clobber someone. Baby Yoda was not intended to be a Sith and inflict damage and violence and hate and fear.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, I'm going to shift off of Star Wars.
Okay.
But I am going to keep it in the Disney family.
Ooh.
We're going to talk Marvel for a minute.
Okay.
Last week we talked about Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
This week, Marvel Television is kaput. That's right. After nearly a decade or so, the Marvel Television division is dead. So basically, we kind of saw this. We know that Jeff Loeb, who was kind of the previous runner of the Marvel Television, is leaving the company. They just laid off a whole group of employees. There's only now 6 current projects. So there's like 4 animated series, plus there's the Tigra and Dazzler team-up series. There's the Hellstrom. And then finally, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to have its last season. So some of the other stuff like the Runaways and whatever else, like all like the I was going to say the Eternals, not the Eternals. The what was it? I can't even think of the name right now. There was some other Marvel like television show. Basically, all that stuff has been canceled. Now, we also know that all the Marvel team up stuff with Netflix, all those got canceled a little while ago. And we have said that we think that those characters could come back over at Disney Plus at some point, but we gotta wait a while. But basically, there's been a disconnect at Marvel. Marvel does almost everything right, but they've never, in my opinion, been able to really marry the small screen experience with the big screen experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have these kind of like, shows. I'm not talking the Netflix. I'm just talking like the TV stuff. They have these shows that are like, hey, we're doing this and that, but like it never really fully integrates with the movies. And now they're basically saying like, well, we're going to get away from the television stuff. We're going to finish off what we have remaining. RIP. But we're moving on because Disney Plus is doing the shows like Loki, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier that are going to be featuring the major actors that are in the films, that these series are going to play a fundamental role in connecting the MCU and the films. And they're going to, like we talked about, like how if you want to understand Doctor Strange into the Mind of Madness, you're going to need to watch WandaVision because there's going to be stuff that's going to happen in WandaVision. Right? So they're going to tie all those together. So we're still going to get smaller screen experiences, but it's going to be through Disney Plus. And if The Mandalorian is any indication, yes, they're going to be smaller screen experiences. You're going to watch at home. However, they're going to be big budget.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's going to be high quality. It's going to feel like a movie.
Yep. No surprise here.
No, not really. But it is official.
Yep. Okay. Makes perfect sense to me. Right business decision. Just move it over to Disney Plus. I don't know anybody who watched those specific like network cable Marvel TV shows anyway, actually.
I mean, I know Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was pretty popular. I mean, it's like 7 or 8 seasons.
Yeah, it definitely ran for a while. I still don't know anybody who watched it. Did you watch
it?
it?
I watched like the first half of the first season and then I stopped because I was like, yeah,
exactly.
It's not great.
Right. Okay.
It's who wants to watch the S.H.I.E.L.D. people? We want to see the Avengers. That was my thing at the time. I'm not going to judge it because I didn't watch it, but I do still keep hope. I'm going to keep a candle burning, Super Friends, that we still get Jessica Jones and Daredevil and Luke Cage and Iron Fist back at some point.
I don't see it happening.
I know. It's probably a foregone conclusion that that's dead, but I'm going to keep that candle burning just in case. Just in case.
I like it. Good. Well, the last thing I have is just a quick shout out to the Game Awards, which happened on Thursday night last week.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Thursday night, yes. And it's become quite a thing over the last 5 years. It's been built up. Millions and millions of people watch it now. It's a lot of fun. My brother and I get together every year to watch it. It's been kind of a tradition for us. More of like we watch it because it's kind of cringy at times and more for the memes than for the actual content. But they're starting to get some decent announcements. This year was a little lighter, I feel like, on kind of earth-shattering announcements. However, probably the biggest thing to come out of the Game Awards that wasn't an award was the reveal of the Xbox next generation system called the Series X.
Oh, such a bad name.
What a stupid name.
Such a bad
Earlier
name.
That week, they were like, the Xbox name, the little tag for the Xbox name is going to help you understand what the Xbox does, like the purpose of it. And then they revealed the title, and I was like, what the heck? I don't know what Series X is supposed to mean.
Okay, so look at this, Matt. You had the Xbox, right?
Yep.
Then they came up with the Xbox 360 because it's supposed to be, like an everyday, all-around experience or something, right?
Stupid.
Okay, dumb. Well, whatever. I'm glad they didn't call the next one Xbox 720 because, like, that just would have been ridiculous.
Yep.
But they came out with the Xbox One. Then they modified it and they came out with the Xbox One S. Then they came out with the Xbox One X. Now they're coming out with the Xbox One SX. I mean, it's like they have no freaking people over there in a marketing department. Like, someone you can't tell me someone didn't say, we're calling this thing Project Scarlet. We've had an Xbox One, an Xbox One S, an Xbox One X, which, if you're taking your, child to GameStop and he's like, I want an Xbox, and you don't know what he wants, like, which,
that's a problem.
am I getting the S? Am I getting the X? I don't know what the difference, like, okay, now Xbox One SX?
Stupid.
It's dumb.
Like,
it's just dumb.
Really stupid. It is as stupid as Nintendo was to go from the Wii to the Wii U.
Yes.
It's that kind of stupid. It's that dumb. I don't even want to know how many disappointed kids on Christmas got a Wii instead of a Wii U. Like, how dumb of Nintendo to do that. And now I'm looking at Xbox and going, you're dumber. You've stuck with the dumbest thing in the world. PlayStation's the only one that's smart.
Yep. Just change the number.
You can't go wrong. Just change the number. I mean, Nintendo finally figured out, they're like, okay, yeah, that was probably a really bad marketing move. Let's call it the Nintendo Switch, which is a perfect name. I thought, just call it Xbox Scarlet. That's kind of cool.
Right. I mean,
that's a cool
they
name.
never actually used because you remember the N64 was called Project Dolphin? I mean...
Yeah, I don't know if that's the GameCube.
Or maybe that was that was the GameCube, Project Dolphin.
I think it was the GameCube, yeah.
But like, they get some weird names. I get it, right? Like the controller for the GameCube, the wireless one, they called the Wavebird.
I remember that.
What? Like, that makes no sense. Okay, sure, fine, whatever. But in today's day and age, it's like, call it something else. Call it like the Power Box. Call it I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's dumb. It's dumb. However, the trailer for Hellblade, I think it's called 2.
Yeah.
Dude.
That looked good.
I was like, I mean, I get that it's not gameplay. I'm not seeing gameplay, but I am seeing in-engine footage, and the landscape in particular was like, holy crap. That's amazing. So I'll probably continue to crap on it. I don't really care for Xbox systems at all anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry to everybody who likes Xbox. Not my thing.
So I'll tell you what, Matt. I had an Xbox I had an Xbox and a 360 for a long time. I didn't get an Xbox this generation because for me, there's just not a lot of exclusives that really make me go there. And that's the problem is like, well, if there's more exclusives that I like over at PlayStation than multi-platform games, I'm just going to get on PlayStation then.
Yep, that's why I think, I hear tangent.
Right? Yeah.
The setup is whatever Nintendo's console is, and then either Sony or a PC.
Yeah.
You get everything.
Yep.
Anyway.
And also, let's be honest, the box that they displayed for that Xbox,
really weird.
It just looks like a box with like a disk drive on it. And here's the other thing too. Are we going to get to a point where the Xbox is just basically a PC?
It almost had that look for a minute.
It did, doesn't it?
It was really close. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't get it to scale at all, which I was kind of frustrated. I wanted to see more of the scale of it, like put it in, have somebody holding it maybe.
Yes, yeah.
Would have been helpful so I could see how big it was, because I was looking at it's like, even if I got this, would it fit in my
I know, right?
I got in here. I'm like, how tall is it?
I bet,
it's obviously not very deep.
I bet you it's 18 inches tall.
That's tall. Man.
I bet you it's like 1.5 feet tall.
So, whatever. Anyway, Game Awards are fun. It's a good time. Some interesting-ish announcements. There was a game that was for PlayStation 5, so...
We officially know it's called the PlayStation 5 now.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
I saw that too.
Anyway, that was the big thing out of the Game Awards.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to give you... I'm switching things up here. I had one, and I was going to use this other one as kind of like a little mention, but now I'm going to switch it up and use the other one as my one, and then the other one as my surprise mention. So, here's what was going to be my surprise. You remember a while ago, we talked about Quentin Tarantino wanting to do a Star Trek film and wanting it to be a hard R film.
Yes.
So, in an interview just recently with something called A Consequence of Sound, I don't know what that is, but he basically says that he's now starting to kind of steer away from the Star Trek franchise. And he says apparently he hasn't had an official conversation with anyone from Paramount yet, but he's just kind of feel like he's moving away from that. And part of the reason is that he has now directed 9 films, and he has always said that he wants to direct 10 films and then be done with directing.
Oh.
That's what he's kind of said for quite a while now. And so it sounds like he's trying to kind of like move away. Like, maybe I don't want my 10th and final film to be a Star Trek hard R film. Now, maybe he still would write for a Star Trek film. Maybe he still would, like, I don't know, like produce it somewhat or, be involved. But apparently he's kind of backing away from the idea of directing that. Which, to me, I'm going to be honest, Super Friends, I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I don't want a hard R.
Would work that well.
I don't want a hard R Star Trek. I just don't.
That would be weird.
I like Star Trek the way it is. I like the movies that we've seen. I love what's being done with Star Trek Discovery right now. I don't think we need to have a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Speaking of retiring, just to throw this out there too.
Yeah.
Jack Black said he's hanging it up.
Really?
Yeah, so he said Jumanji may be his last film. Open to doing TV shows, he said. He's tired of being away from his family for that long.
Okay, I can get that.
So he lives close to Hollywood. He says, I would do a TV show. Call me. Anyway, just to throw that in there since we're talking about people retiring a little bit. But Quentin Tarantino, Star Trek film, I was never super stoked about that idea. That seems off.
Yeah. All right. So here's my one last thing that I'll just drop in. J.J. Abrams, Rise of Skywalker, we know that's coming out. In a recent interview, people were talking to him about a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff. And, this is kind of this is going to be my generation's hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Because I'm pulling it back and going back to the hashtag release the original trilogy. Well, we should get that trending.
Yeah.
Release the original trilogy. Because J.J. Abrams is basically kind of saying, like, I would be interested in seeing the original trilogy. Like, the movies, the way they originally were filmed, that were beloved, they're a legacy, they're part of the Library of Congress. He's like, I want to see those. And he's like, basically, I've been kind of told that there's reasons, and, whether or not they are or not, he says, I don't know if it's George Lucas won't release them, or if it was part of the deal that when he sold that they couldn't be released, or he held on to them.
Yeah.
Whatever. But listen, J.J. Abrams is trying to throw some weight behind Disney releasing the original trilogy. If J.J. can't get it done, man, what is it going to take? And you know what?
Right.
We don't even need to see him cleaned up. We don't need to see him converted to 4K. Don't put money into him. Just freaking print them on DVD, release them digitally, mint yourself a lot of money.
Yes, I agree. There's some parts of the original trilogy with what George did with the special editions that I simply cannot watch.
Yep.
There's a specific musical number that I can't.
Are you talking the new version of Return of the Jedi, Jabba's Palace?
Stop. Oh my gosh. How did you know?
Yeah.
What in the world are you doing? So I'm with it. I think this is twofold. I think JJ does want to see this, but I also think he's trying to endear himself to fans.
Maybe.
I think there's a smart marketing ploy here. JJ's a smart guy. He knows what we want, which is why I'm confident The Rise of Skywalker is going to be more appealing to the masses than The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. And I think that he's just continuing to endear himself to fans. When I read that, I went, okay,
right.
JJ, I hear you. You're one of us. That's kind of the feel I got. Oh, you're one of us.
Oh, you're on our side all of a sudden. Huh.
Right.
We'll see. All right, well, that's the last thing I had. That was just a little drop in, but anyway, let's move on. Last week, we asked the Super Friends, we asked you, what of the 5 movie trailers you're most excited to see that we discussed? And we discussed Ghostbusters, Mulan, Wonder Woman, Black Widow, and Free Guy. And we got a couple answers. Let's start over on the email like we always do, which is fortofnerd@gmail.com. And we have Peter Christensen. He says, Dear nerds, Hopefully I won't have to wait until 2021 to come back on the podcast. But yes, I'll shill for Avatar in person when the time comes.
Oh, great. We've committed ourselves to watching Avatar.
He says, Spencer, don't bother with the 2016 Ghostbusters. It's not bad because it ruins your childhood or pollutes the original. It's bad because it's just bad. I mean, I've heard that from everyone. I really, really have. But you know how sometimes when you drive past a car wreck, you just can't help but turn and look? I kind of feel that going on right now. Anyway, he says, The Mandalorian Episode 6 may have been my favorite episode yet. Seen Bill Burr, my favorite living stand-up comic, and top 5 in the world today as a mercenary holding Baby Yoda, made my brain's Venn diagram explode. The action and tension in this episode was more consistent, and I love seeing the various fighting styles. I look forward to the sidekick when you tell me which Western it's inspired by. Which, we actually didn't talk about that too much, but,
whoops.
You know what?
No,
it's
we
all
didn't.
good. Yes.
We talked about a lot of other things. It was a long one.
I felt like we could have gone longer, too. It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have gone. It was a good episode.
It says, I took my family to see Jumanji The Next Level this weekend, and meh. It's like an old school sequel in that it's about 80 to 90% as good as the original, but was much less enjoyable because it lacked the novelty of Welcome to the Jungle. That movie, along with the cartoon Ferdinand, was one of the most surprising, enjoyable movies of the decade, and I wish we had stayed home and watched it again instead of seeing the sequel in the theaters. It wasn't bad, it was just a letdown. I get that. Like, Breed and I had a conversation about going to see this in the theaters, and I just said, it's a sequel to a movie that I did very much enjoy, but I don't see how they're going to change the formula much, so it's going to feel kind of like Ghostbusters 2. We rushed a sequel, we're trying to capitalize on the same formula, it's going to make money, but it's not going to be as good as the original. So that's good to hear, Peter, because with the holidays and with Star Wars Rise of Skywalker and The Mandalorian and all the other stuff I got going on, I probably won't see it, so I'll see it when it comes to streaming. Peter goes on to say, I'd only watched the trailers for Black Widow and Wonder Woman when I listened to the episode, but saw Free Guy, Ghostbusters, and Sonic before Jumanji. If I could only see one, it would be Wonder Woman. She's definitely DC's best right now, and having Patty Jenkins direct should portray her better than she was in Justice League. I'm sure Black Widow will be fine, but I just don't see it being a top quartile MCU movie at this point. You have to decide if you're going to see the new one or just watch Ragnarok again. Ghostbusters looks cool, and I look forward to a decade of Stranger Things kids trying to make themselves look young to be in supernatural movies, right? Because eventually those kids are going to start getting old. He said, I'd seen ads online for Free Guy, and I'm in no rush for more Ryan Reynolds. I like the guy. He just does a lot. But the preview was really fun. It looked like Ready Player One and the Lego Movie had a baby. I'm definitely seeing this one. It's strange to say, but the revised Sonic actually looks like a fun movie. The new look, plus seeing the personality they're giving him, makes this look like the kind of movie my inner 9 to 13-year-old would love. Also, nice to see James Marsden harvesting the seeds he sowed in Hop as the unwitting human sidekick to a ridiculous magical rodent. The fall season is slow for movies, and it's nice to have some good ones back in theaters and to start lining up for next year. We're going to see Star Wars next Saturday. It's good to be a nerd. Peter Christensen.
Nice.
Yeah, it is true. The fall time does get a little slow when it comes to the movies. And of course, we got a big Star Wars film to kind of finish the year out on. But we do have a good big slate of movies coming up this next year. I keep forgetting how stacked 2020 actually is going to be. A lot of good stuff. Lot of choices. All right, let's go over to Twitter at Fort of Nerd. We've got Mr. Tim Paulin at TPaulin20. He says, Wonder Woman and Black Widow are must-see. Strong female heroes. pray to the writing gods they get a good story. Okay, so I think we're going to see good stories on both, but if I'm going to pick which one I think is going to have a better story, I'm going to say Wonder Woman.
I would agree with that.
I'm going to say I'm more excited for that. I also feel like at this point, I feel like the Black Widow story might just be a little bit of trying to shoehorn one in. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
We'll see. Okay, we also have a voicemail. Paul Calicote has left us a voicemail, so we're going to give Paul's voicemail a listen.
What's up, Fortress of Nerditude? This is Paul Calico coming at you on this beautiful Sunday. Question of the week. Most exciting trailer from last week. I'm going to go with 2, Wonder Woman 84 and Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters because, man, that commercial just hit so many buttons for me, and I'm really excited for that movie. I want to know what happened to the original guys. Wonder Woman 1984, because I was born in 1984. Please don't do the math, but if you do, it's 35. Anyway, Wonder Woman looks really good. I'm excited to see how Steve made it out of that plane. Like, how is he back? He didn't age. What's going on with that? Anyway, guys, those are the 2 trailers I'm excited for. Ghostbusters and Wonder Woman 84. Else time.
All right, Paul Calicote, Ghostbusters and Wonder Woman 84. Here's the thing. I like what Paul says, that Ghostbusters, like, I want to know what happened with the original cast. And they leave you just enough breadcrumbs and teaser there. And Paul, I wasn't going to talk about your age, man, but you brought it up, and it's okay. You're still younger than me, but older than Matt, so you're kind of splitting the difference. Not a big deal.
There you go. Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Thank you, Super Friends, for your responses this week. We love it. It's one of our favorite parts, hearing from you. So, Matt, what can the Super Friends do for us on this wonderful Merry Christmas episode?
So what you can do for us this week is similar to what we said last week. Actually, I probably jumped the gun on what I wanted you to do. But this week, just enjoy the family. Have fun. The holidays are stressful and they're crazy. But this week, just take an hour, put your phone away, and talk to your family. Just enjoy, or whoever you're with, family, friends. Just put your phone down for 1 hour on some day and just breathe in the air and try to detox and prepare yourself for New Year's. That's what you can do for us this week. And then if you want to, you can, tell them about the podcast after that and then pull it up on your brand new Apple TV and your brand new Roku and stream us in glorious 4K audio. And, leave us a like, give us a subscribe and a listen, little something. Thanks for listening.
Yeah,
you guys are great.
I like that. All right, Matt. So this is your first Christmas episode, and every Christmas episode so far, so I don't know how long we'll be able to keep this format going because eventually we're going to run out of things, but we do a little competition. So the name of the game is this. We're going to do a best and worst of, and we got 3 categories. And the idea is we try to convince the other person that our picks are better than theirs with a reason why or a few reasons why, an impassioned speech, whatever. And then between us, we kind of decide, okay, who picked the better one, who picked the worst one. One of us will come away from this the winner. There's no real prize, except for a fake. And then we'll also let basically the Super Friends at the end of the episode for this week let us know what they thought about our picks. So let's start with the category of holiday specials. We'll start off with the worst holiday special and then the best holiday special. So Matt, what is your pick for the worst holiday special and why?
Okay. So my pick for the worst holiday special is a little something called "We Wish You a Turtle Christmas." What do you think that is?
I think that's a Ninja Turtles Christmas special.
You would be correct. It is a Ninja Turtles live action Christmas special. So just listen to this. This is what it's about. On Christmas Eve, the Turtles realize they've forgotten to get Splinter a gift. They hit the town to try and figure out what to get him. Their kid fans join them with lots of singing, dancing, and even some rapping about rapping, WR, and shenanigans ensue. Live action Ninja Turtles 90s style. Oh my gosh. Rapping about wrapping presents.
Yep.
There were so many things I was looking at and reading about it and watching a little here and there as I was thinking of this. But the turtles, the turtles decorate trees in Times Square while singing songs and rapping about rapping. And you know what they end up getting him? Plastic pizza. Plastic pizza.
What? Why?
So, yeah, like a plastic toy pizza. I don't know. I have not yet understood what my brain has been introduced to. So, I'm sure there are worse things out there, but boy, oh boy, that is a whole special kind of weird. So that was my pick for worst and just downright strangest holiday special I could find.
Okay. I think that is a legit contender. All right. Okay, let's see how mine stacks up. Okay, so my worst Christmas holiday special is actually the Star Wars holiday special that was done in 1978. This is the worst. It just is. You have all pretty much the original cast that signed on to do this, plus, a few others. A storyline that kind of, Chewbacca has to go home to the Wookiee home planet to celebrate Life Day. They're pursued by the Empire. They have this, Chewbacca's got this whole family that's kind of going on, and, he's got a father named Itchy and a son Lumpy. Lumpy, right? So there's cartoon footage that's in this thing, and it's like the other Wookiees look horrible. Just horrible. There's spacecraft, there's a fight scene. Let's just put it this way. The reception for this after seeing Star Wars in 1977, and then this atrocity that came on TV in 1978 for Christmas time, was so bad that it has not seen the light of day since. George Lucas basically just said it will never be played again. The only place you can find is bootleg copies, maybe now. It is bad. It is bad with a capital B, and not in the awesome Michael Jackson bad way. We're talking, this is just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible.
When deciding if I should mention that, obviously I said I think Spencer's going to mention this, so I'm going to stay away from it. It is truly horrifying, actually, is kind of the word that I would use. I found this on YouTube last month, and when I saw the Wookiee family, I went, oh good gosh, what have they done? Why?
Right.
And so that I can't argue. Here's what I can't do. I can't argue against your pick. It is awful and it is horrifying. All I can do is defend my pick and just say, Also horrifying. Like two things that should never have existed. Just let them exist on their own. They're two amazing franchises who just overstepped their boundary. Just that anyway, that.
All right, if I'm going to score this though. I have to say something that was like told that it will never see the light of day again because it was that bad. Has to take the cake.
Okay.
It just has to.
I'll agree with that, but the fact that I'm not so sure Ninja Turtles ever saw the light.
In your defense, I feel like I need to go see the Ninja Turtles one because that just sounds horrible.
A train wreck.
It just sounds horrible.
Oh my gosh, so bad.
And sometimes I like a good train wreck. What can I say? All right, favorite, best Christmas special.
So I went in a different direction. So I kind of went more of a TV show route on this one, an episode of a TV show. And there are tons of great Christmas specials to choose from that I passed up to get me here. However, I think my favorite Christmas special episode is Community's Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas, which is the claymation Christmas special.
Ooh. Yeah.
It is all sorts of funny, but also like only Community can do, all sorts of deep and important and introspective, and makes you think about what your life is. And it has music, it has dancing, it has shades of Willy Wonka, it's got violence, it's got pterodactyls. I mean, Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas has everything, and it is so funny and so clever. And this is Community and Dan Harmon kind of at their peak. I mean, this is an episode that makes you go, gosh, how did this only get 3 seasons of like goodness straight? So for me, Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas will always be a Christmas special that I will watch every year because it has this special Christmas feeling, but also makes you really think and deep. It's great. It's great. It's just all great.
You're killing me with your best pick because while I think mine is a classic safe pick to go with, I'm going to have a real hard time arguing mine against yours because they're two super different things, and I love your pick to death. So, gosh, dang it. That's so good, Matt. I think I'm going to win the worst of this category, and I think you're going to win the best. Mine's a safer pick, for sure, but I went with the Charlie Brown Christmas special. Okay. It is classic. It is timeless. It teaches a really good message about like what it's not about the commercialism. It's not about, all the accoutrement that kind of comes with Christmas, but it's really about the coming together with your community and being there for one another and helping out. It literally feels to me like the It's a Wonderful Life version of a Peanuts story. It's got great music with the Vivaldi trio. It's just through and through beautiful, timeless. It speaks to both children and adults. I love it. I can't get through the Christmas season without watching it at least a few times.
Right.
However, I don't know if I'm going to say your pick and my pick are so different on so many different levels.
I completely agree with you. They're very, very, very different. One of them is like, it's a timeless classic
very
Christmas
different
thing. And if that's your deal, that's why it's hard for this one. I agree, because obviously Charlie Brown Christmas is great. I would say nearly everyone has seen that. And
it's played since the 60s. Like every year it's played on television since the 1960s. Like it's that great. But I think I'm going to give you this one. I think I'm going to give you this one, Matt. I just think that we picked two very different things, and while mine is technically a Christmas special, yours is a special Christmas episode of an existing thing, like the Charlie Brown specials, just things that kind of came on every now and again for like certain seasons or holidays because they really were, a comic strip for a long time. So I'm going to give you it with the Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas. Yep.
Gracias.
I will give you that. So let's move on to our next category. What do you have for the worst Christmas candy?
All right, so this one was really, really tricky because there's some Christmas candies that are really specific and they don't really have a name, just like weird wax paper candies. But I went with one that is straight from my childhood that when I got it, I was not excited, but I got it what it felt like every year. One of those stupid Lifesaver storybooks. I don't know if you remember those.
Oh, I do.
Good gosh. What? Okay, there are so many things, so many questions I have about why and how these were invented. It's just a cardboard paper, or just like a paper book sleeve. You open it up and there's no book inside. There's nothing inside except you get like 6 sleeves of Lifesavers, which isn't a great candy to begin with. I don't. It's okay. Here's what Christmas is. Christmas is fun. It's magical. It's delicious. It's new. It's like stuff you don't always get. Lifesavers are boring. They're bland. They're not fun to eat. Easily chokeable. And who wants to have a storybook version of this on Christmas? What? I don't get it. It was a success because we all know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But why? I don't understand why. It was the least exciting thing that I got.
So here's the thing. I always actually liked those because I like Lifesaver candies. And so I was like, ooh, I only get the storybook one where I get like 4 or 5 of them at Christmas time. Admittedly, there's no book to it. I mean, like you open it up and it kind of looks like a book, but that's just the housing for the candy. But there's nothing you actually read. There's nothing that you actually are entertained by. I get that, right? When I was talking about this idea, I was talking to my mom, and my mom said, as a kid, my favorite candy that I only got at Christmas was the Lifesaver storybooks because I loved Lifesavers. And it came, I was like, huh, okay. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't have put that as my favorite, but I definitely wouldn't have put it as my like worst candy at Christmas.
Oh,
interesting take, Matt. Interesting take.
Definitely my worst.
I had a runner up or two on this one, and I'll give you my 2 runners up real fast. Everyone I talked to said ribbon candy. They said ribbon candy looks great.
Yeah.
But like it just doesn't taste good, and you eat it, and then you just wish you hadn't because it's just bleh.
Right.
I don't really remember ribbon candy all that well, so I couldn't put it up there. Candy cane. That's gonna be my hot take that I didn't go with. I don't like a candy cane.
Wow.
I enjoy the peppermint taste, but getting the plastic off that thing is horrible. And then like, inevitably you kind of like suck on it, but like it gets sticky and it sticks to the plastic, and so it can get on your hands and it can like become unwieldy, and then sometimes you get those stupid like candy cane rods that are like 5 or 6 inches, 8 inches long, and it's like, it just kind of looks like a dowel rod made out of candy cane stuff, and like you got to like smack that thing with a hammer in order to break. Like I hated those, but it was not my pick.
Sure.
My pick is the Spice Gumdrop. I'm talking about that crap piece of candy that you only had when you put it on a gingerbread house because it looks good as a decoration. It looks good to help make some like little bushes or some of the decorations on the rooftop or whatever. However, when you put that nasty piece of crap in your mouth, you realize, oh, this thing tastes horrible. Just horrible. Who ever thought, you know what kids need in candy? Spice. And it needs to taste nasty. I don't get why people eat those things. It is disgusting. I want to vomit every single time I just think about them. That is my worst. The spice gumdrop.
I don't know. We are on different sides of the spectrum as it pertains to candy textures. Cause I don't mind like the gumdrops. I'm not like a huge fan. I'm not excited about them. I don't mind. Oh, I can't wait
I don't mind
to
the
pick this
sweet
off
gumdrops.
the gingerbread house.
But the spice gumdrop. Oh. It's kind of hot. It's kind of weird. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
I get it. It is a mess.
It's not good.
Argue. It's not good.
The problem is, I have a hard time voting for yours because I like Lifesavers.
Lifesavers to me are not a candy. It's like I don't know what it is, but to me it's not a candy. It's like a candy. Okay, here's it is. It's a candy that a grandma gives or that a grandma has, and she like thinks she's giving you a treat when in reality you're like, I don't even want this. Like, do you have any chocolate? They're both not good. I just know that in your stocking.
Yeah, let's call this a push. Let's call this a tie.
Okay, we'll push this. That's fine.
Yeah, because like I'm looking at it, I was like, I can't say yours is worse than mine because I like your candy, and you kind of like the gumdrops. I'm assuming the other version though, not the spice ones. Maybe you like the spice ones. I don't know, but all right, best candy. This should be easier. I think we should be able to easily choose a winner here.
I agree, because it will be me and my candy because it's delicious. So the candy that I have selected is a relatively new candy. It's actually pretty new, but it's also pretty old. So it's a little bit of both here. It is the
it's new and old?
Reese's. Yes, it's a Reese's tree, one of the larger Reese's trees, but it's got the Reese's pieces inside of it. That candy is absolutely the perfect Christmas treat. It is festive in its shape. It is the classic chocolate with peanut butter that we all have come to love, but it adds that extra texture and crunch of Reese's Pieces without giving the overwhelming Reese's Pieces taste that I don't necessarily enjoy. And it only comes out this time of year, and this is the only time that you can get it with the perfect chocolate to peanut butter ratio. It's all about that ratio. It's bigger, double the candy with the two different kinds of candies in it, the extra crunch, the ratio. It, to me, is the perfect candy. We always have them in stock for the last, I think it's only been out for like 2 years now, but it's a must eat. Delicious.
I like the Reese's mini cups, like the little, like the small ones that like you get at Christmas time. Those are the only Reese's I like because I think the chocolate to peanut butter ratio on those are perfect. All the normal like Reese's peanut butter cups or the egg-shaped ones or the pumpkin-shaped ones or the Christmas tree-shaped ones, I don't like because I don't like the chocolate to peanut butter ratio. But I have not tried this Reese's monstrosity that you speak of, where it's the larger Christmas tree with Reese's Pieces on the inside of it. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Oh. How? So good.
I didn't even know this was a thing. All right, so I'll give you mine, and then we can see. Mine also is chocolate, but this is different. I mean, honorable mention to the chocolate Santas of the world, right? Like, you only get chocolate Santas around Christmas time, right? Filled with the marshmallow or the strawberry cream or whatever. Those are good. However, what I love, what's Christmas to me, because I used to get this in my stocking all the time, is a chocolate orange. It's a ball of chocolate shaped like an orange that you smack it on one side so it kind of, all the little pieces kind of, will separate and fall off from the core. And it is the perfect blending of chocolate and fruit, which is chocolate and orange. And it's delicious. It's wonderful. You can get it in the dark chocolate variety or the milk chocolate. I love me a chocolate orange, Matt. That's my favorite Christmas candy. All right, Matt. So your best, just a recap here, your best candy was what again?
The Reese's Trees with the Reese's Pieces inside.
The Reese's Trees with Reese's, yeah. And then mine is the chocolate orange, which is just chocolate, but it has that orange flavor to it. I don't know how to judge this.
Yeah, this is tough. Both valid points, in my opinion. Again, both valid. Because the orange in your stocking is kind of like a thing. And
right.
So it does make it uniquely Christmassy and stockingy and kind of fun.
Yep.
So I personally am kind of leaning towards yours. Though, for me personally, I would not be stoked if that was in my stocking. I don't want my fruit and my chocolate to mix. I like my fruit separate from my chocolate.
Yeah, but it's not real fruit, though.
No, but it's
just chocolate.
Like it.
Oh, so good. So good.
I think it'll be interesting to see if any Super Friends comment on this, because you don't like the ratio of peanut butter to chocolate on the larger things, and I don't like my fruit and chocolate flavors to mix, and I feel like I don't know. It's tough. Reese's is universally loved. And I think you're in like the super minority of people who prefer the little ones. Like, I've never heard of anyone in my life who likes the little ones.
That's all I like.
That's so different, because it's all about like the big, more peanut butter in our house. This is going to be, I will never say that this is not the best candy.
So what you're saying is this could be a divisive topic here.
It could be. It's just candy. It's whatever. I get it.
Hashtag release the Christmas candy. Yeah,
release the Christmas candy.
Right.
Oh man, this one's tough. Yeah. I however will relinquish, because you can get Reese's pretty much whenever. The Trees you can't, and it is the best one in my opinion. So but I will relinquish this to you, because yours is more Christmas tiny,
okay.
And you could get it in a stocking.
All right, let's move on. I think I'm going to blow you away with something I got here. Okay, we're going to talk about the best and worst Christmas nerdy decorations.
Yes.
So let's hear your best decoration
Best first? Okay.
No.
We've been going worst.
Let's go worst. Let's keep the same order. Worst
so,
Christmas decoration.
Mine's not necessarily this. I struggled with this because there's lots of like things I could have chosen, but this one was the first thing that came to my mind when I thought about, well, that's just tacky.
Okay.
It is, and I may catch some crap for this. I don't know, because people have this, I think. But it is the Christmas Story leg lamp. Like, really having it. To me, that is the ultimate tacky, awful piece of Christmas decor that one can own. It is inappropriate. Not just back when the movie was made. It's inappropriate now for not just it is so tacky. I don't even know what else to say other than it is so tacky and so low class.
See, I think that's the funny part about that, is that it's tacky.
It is.
It's tacky and low class in the movie, and that's why they're like making fun of it.
Right.
And the fact that
bring it home.
The fact that people, right, and like, she doesn't want it brought home, but the fact that like it was made into a real thing that people bring home.
I don't like.
Like, I find it funny. I find it very, very funny. It's very meta, but I wouldn't own one.
No, to me, it's just bad. It's just bad. I was trying to think of something, at least for one of them, that like people actually had, because there's lots of little nerdy things that you could get. This to me was just really lame, I think. It's just lame.
All right.
What do you have?
I've got something. It's a little unconventional, so this is going to be interesting too. But I went with what I call the fake, ugly, nerdy sweaters.
Okay.
Because it is a Christmas decoration. You only put it out to decorate. Now you're kind of decorating yourself.
Right.
But you only wear it at Christmas time. But we all know that like ugly sweater contests are kind of a fun thing around Christmas. You see people wear them. But like now we've got like the kind of the nerdy, we're going to capitalize on pop culture where they make these like fake ugly sweaters, but they'll be like Star Wars. And so it'll be like Darth Vader wearing a Christmas, Santa hat.
Yep.
And they'll say, ho, ho, ho on it. And there'll be little TIE fighters on it. And it's meant to look like an ugly sweater, but it's really not. They're just trying to get you a Star Wars Christmas sweater. Now, I love Star Wars, but I hate these things. I dislike them with a passion. It's dumb. It looks bad. It's faking an ugly sweater, but trying to really just sell you something with Star Wars on it.
Right.
I hate it. It's my least favorite of the nerdy decorations. Give me my Darth Vader ornament I put on my tree. I'll take that. Give me other stuff, right? But like the fake ugly sweaters, it's stupid. It's just stupid. I hate it.
I get it. However, it's like a thing, though. I
It
feel like
shouldn't be.
it's widely accepted.
It shouldn't be.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be. But it's interesting because I think both of our worsts are things that people use ironically.
Yep.
Like, it's not like somebody's really going to go buy a leg lamp because that's a really cool Christmas decoration. They're buying it to be meta and funny. Same thing, I feel like maybe with the Christmas things, though there are people who probably legitimately think that they're really awesome. And like, wow, what a cool sweater. So maybe yours is worse because there are people out there who are not self-aware enough to know that they're buying this. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Here's the deal. What's a decoration?
Right.
You don't put it on. You display it for others to see on your home.
That's why I said it may be a bit of a stretch.
I think it's a bit of a stretch. I don't disagree with it because I would make that stretch. It's not. It's terrible, and those ugly sweaters can be bad. But if you wear them ironically to parties, I think they're kind of fun. Personally, if you show up in one, I'll be like, oh, cool, you like the things I like, and I would talk to you and probably not judge you. But if I walked into your home and you had a leg lamp, I'm like, boy, that is... I love A Christmas Story, and I watch it every Christmas Eve, but it's bad.
Maybe they're trying to elicit that response, too. I mean, yeah. The problem is that it's the irony aspect of it on both of these.
I agree.
I hate the sweater thing, I really do, but I get the irony side of it. And like the leg lamp side, like I think it's funny because of irony reasons, but like I would never actually own that in my home.
No.
Never in a million years. Just because I think it looks kind of ugly and tacky. So I'm going to give you the leg lamp. I think that's going to edge it out.
Okay. I'm glad. I accept that.
All right. The best.
Oh, man.
The best.
This was so hard.
This was easy for me.
Because there are...
I had this
great.
immediately.
Oh, great. You're going to win then. Crap. This was hard for me because... I say it's hard because there are a lot of cool things that you can do with the nerdiness to make it play well with your house or whatever it is you're doing. But mine is an outdoor decoration.
Okay.
So picture... we don't have snow in Texas.
Right.
Very often. But imagine that you have snow outside of your home. Or you're driving around, you see somebody's house snowy, and they have a downed AT-AT in their front yard as a Christmas decoration. You go, that is awesome. So I was trying to decide what to do here, and I went with, it's an AT-AT walker that has the front half bent down as if it was in the Battle of Hoth and it had just been tripped.
Yep.
And I thought, what an amazingly cool way to bring Star Wars into your Christmas display without it being like really dumb, like a blow up Yoda.
Is this an inflatable?
No, this is like
Okay.
a real. I'm sure it's plastic, but you stake it into the ground, and it has the appearance of being a downed AT-AT. And I thought that was a really cool way to make it so like your nerdiness was displayed without, like I said, without being tacky. I don't like the tacky things. So anytime that like there's like a light display that has, or they've arranged some type of figurine of Darth Vader into their Christmas display, or I just don't like it. It doesn't fit well. But this to me fits well. I think
Where can you find this?
You have to buy it online on like ThinkGeek or something like that. So they're not like
reasonably priced.
It's like $35, I think.
So that's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not $150 or anything.
Okay.
Anyway, I thought it was really cool. What do you have?
I like that. Yeah, I mean, you're going Star Wars, so you know that you're gonna get me looking your direction right off the bat. But I got you. Because this is so good, and I love it, and I know this is gonna speak to you. Let's take a trip back to the episode of your favorite Christmas special, Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas.
Okay.
NBC made little figures that they sold of all of the characters from Abed's Uncontrollable Christmas as a Christmas decoration that came in a set. They're all on these like little, like they look like little peppermint like candy cane patty pads. It's like a little circular pad. And so you've got Duncan as the wizard. You've got Troy as the tin soldier. You've got Britta Bot. You've got let's see, Jeff in the Box. You have what else is there? Snowman Chang and Teddy Pierce.
I am blown away. I just am looking it up on Google right now.
I have all of them. They always take a place of prominence in our front living room on our shelves.
What?
That is my favorite Christmas decoration because it is nerdy. It comes from one of my favorite comedy TV shows, from an episode that was a Christmas special that was like super amazing. It's very meta that I have a claymation version of this in a little figurine. That is my favorite Christmas nerdy decoration.
Well, this is easy.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh my freaking crap. I'm like on eBay right now trying to find it. Oh my gosh. That is the coolest thing ever.
I'm telling you, it's
a winner. That's so good. I did not know that they made that.
Yep, I've had them for a number of years now.
Oh,
my goodness. Pull them out every year and display them with pride.
Oh, as you should.
Yep. The only other thing that I would that I could potentially have that I think would be amazing would be some sort of like Die Hard Nakatomi Plaza ornament or something. I don't have anything like that, but my community Abed Uncontrollable Christmas figurines, that's my favorite nerdy Christmas decoration.
Yeah, and you knew you'd get me with that. Dang it.
Yep.
Nothing. I don't even think, here's the deal. It would have to be like a really, really great Star Wars thing to be anything even like medium community for me.
Yeah.
Community is that held in that high regard for me.
I have a lot of great Star Wars stuff that I've seen, but not a lot of great Christmas Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
They struggle.
Star Wars doesn't translate well to the holidays. Because it comes across as a little tacky.
I mean, the holiday special, I mean, come on.
Ugh, so bad. So I don't want to see Vader in a Santa hat. It's weird.
Yep.
That's a good... I didn't know that was a thing, so wow. You definitely win that one. That's an easy win. As cool as the Down to AT-AT is, look it up. Look, AT-AT like Christmas yard decoration. Just look it
Yeah,
up.
I'm gonna look it
cool
up.
looking. They're cool, but
Because that's something you could leave in your yard all winter.
yeah, all winter. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
All right, so let's recap this here. Let's try to figure out who bested who. So in the holiday special for the worst category, I think we gave it to me.
Yep.
So that's 1 for me. In the best category, we gave it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're tied. In the worst candy category, I think we said that was a push, right? Because I had the spice gum drop, and you had the
yes,
whatchamacallit,
the storybook.
The storybook, yeah.
Lifesavers.
So we kind of had to push. So we're still 1-1. Then we went to the best candy, and you gave it to me with the chocolate orange.
Yep.
So I'm up on you there. The worst decoration.
We did the leg lamp on that one.
We did the leg lamp, so we're tied 2-2. Pulling it out with the community.
Oh, the community, man.
The community figures for the win. Just narrowly edges you out. And I think I'm still undefeated on the Christmas episodes.
Oh,
Barely.
It's almost like you're the host of the show. Wonder how that works, Super Friends.
You know, I think if you and I had come up with better worst candies, that we could have, like, if you would have said circus, I mean, I know they're not Christmas, but if you would have said like circus peanuts or freaking what was it, the Bit-O honey that I took a picture of it. It was like that I found at Cracker Barrel. Like, if you would have came with something like that was like nasty, you probably could have. I probably easily could have swayed.
You liked though.
I know.
Who likes the storybook Lifesavers? I am shocked. I found.
I like Lifesavers.
It's not even a candy, guys.
Wild cherry Lifesavers.
Oh my gosh, you like Jolly Ranchers too?
I mean, when I was a kid, not anymore really, but.
Oh gosh. Any candy that takes that long to eat is not worth it.
I don't suck the whole thing. I crunch them crap.
Oh my gosh.
I get impatient too.
Oh.
All right, so here's the thing. I've got Matt triggered. If I bring up Last Jedi, I probably can push him over the edge.
Oh gosh, no. Please.
But this is Christmas. This is our Christmas episode, and we're all about caring and loving and Merry Christmas and the holidays. So, Super Friends, we want to hear from you. Obviously, this is going to drop right before Christmas, so tell us, what did you think of our picks for best and worst Christmas specials, best and worst Christmas candies, and best and worst Christmas nerdy decorations? Let us hear yours. If you got something you think tops ours, let us know. Get up in the socials, get us some answers, and we will talk about it next week. Matt, next episode's going to drop right after Christmas, and we're going to be talking Rise of Skywalker. It's going to be a movie club. It's going to be a good one.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to it. This will be the conclusion, something we've been looking forward to for a long time.
Yep.
So, anyway, from all of us here at the Fortress of Nerditude to all of you out there, wherever you may be, may the Force be with you, always.